Hello, welcome to this your channel, the Eurofan. That's me. Lithuania is still living its golden age in the competition. Another proof of that was the heartfelt proposal presented by Monica Ligete during last year's contest, who was reprising the Eurovision experience this time as a soloist, and then even improved her mark from her first participation by placing 11th in the final ranking. There was no doubt that the Baltic country will keep its participation after the good results they have been achieving in recent years, looking to keep improving them to soon achieve their first victory. Let's see then who was the artist who had the occasion of waving the Lithuanian colors in Malmo. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Lithuanian entry for Eurovision 2024, which has been represented by singer Silvester Belt with the song Luktelk, which in English translates as Wait. As usual, we start by taking a look to his biography and career before him embarking in his Eurovision adventure. Silvester Belt, mostly well known as Silvester Belt, is a Lithuanian singer and songwriter in the genres of pop, electronic music and rave. Coming from the city of Kaunas, located in central Lithuania, he shows a wide interest for music since he was 4 years old, by taking music classes in an academy and following later his musical studies in a conservatory of his hometown. His musical career will start in 2010, having been 13 years old, when he tried to represent his country at Junior Eurovision, being one of the child artists selected for the first edition of the then Lithuanian Junior National Final by Eurovision Nacionalinė Atranka, which in English translates as Junior Eurovision National Selection, from the times where Lithuania was participating at the junior contest until withdrawing after the following year, and since then they have not come back. He will compete that time under his real name, performing the song Pipapo, having qualified to the final show after being the third qualifier, and thereafter in the final show he will have a joint 8th place with the singer Dominika Kovaliovas. After that attempt, he will continue with his musical education, moving to London, United Kingdom to study commercial music performance at the University of Westminster. During his college years, he will also start to try his luck in some talent shows in Lithuania. In 2017, encouraged by his sister, he will participate in the reality show as Superhitas, which in English translates as I Am a Superhit, which will also end up winning it. And even his participation at the show was accepted by the university as his internship. With his victory, he will get a cash prize, which he will use to record and produce his first official single together with its accompanying official music video, both of them released that same year. The following year, he will participate in the 6th season of the Lithuanian version of the X Factor, where he will place 10th after being eliminated in the 4th show. His participation particularly came to attention after coming out as bisexual, and it is because he stated that one of the main reasons to move to the United Kingdom to pursue studies was his own fears of the then existing prejudice in the Lithuanian society towards people in the LGBTI community during his teenage years. But with the years, after realizing that many artists for the musical scene open up directly about their sexual orientation and the fact that they're becoming normalized much more, he will decide eventually to make the step to reconcile with himself. Then later, in 2019, he will finish his college studies at London, in which he also worked in a beauty salon for a while, until the restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic came in 2020. By 2021, he will return to Lithuania to sign a record deal with a local record label, and thereafter he had the intention of going back to the United Kingdom that same year. But as the restrictions were still ongoing in the country, having no possibility to go there, he will decide then to stay in Lithuania, releasing singles since then in his native language, Lithuanian. It is to stand out that Silvester has been a huge fan of Eurovision since ever, from watching the national finals in his native country to the contest itself, in addition to his attempt to attend the junior contest as I have commented before. But then, it was during late last year where he will have the chance to represent his country this time for the senior edition. Let's see how he begins his Eurovision adventure. The Lithuanian public broadcaster will organize a national final once again as usual, but this time with a different production and identity. And it was because the broadcaster was refurbishing this pavilion in Snowjo after 4 editions, to now being called Eurovision.lt. The submission period will be open in mid-October last year for the Lithuanian artists and songwriters who wanted to take part in the process, closing it by mid-December of last year. After the deadline, it was known that the broadcaster received over 60 proposals, from which 40 of them will be selected to take part in the competition. The selected artists and songs will be announced in late last December, being Silvester among the chosen ones, competing in this case with some well-known faces that have participated in the contest in previous editions. In one hand, there was the singer Andrius Pujavis, who represented Lithuania in 2013 precisely in Malmö, looking to reprise his Eurovision experience in the Swedish city. Then there was the singer Vilija Matachunaite, who did it as well 1 year later during the edition held in Copenhagen, Denmark. And finally, there was also the Rook, who were chosen as the representatives for the cancelled edition of 2020, but that later will be chosen again for the edition that was finally held the following year in Rotterdam, Netherlands. The format will have several changes from its predecessor, Padantonis Snowjo. First, the qualification round will be simplified to have 5 semifinals, to be aired between January and February with 8 contestants competing in each one, where the 2 most voted artists will qualify from each semifinal to make up a final show with 10 finalists. Second, the final show will incorporate a super final as well, which will be voted solely by the public, following a very similar strategy currently done in many European national finals, especially in the Nordic countries. And third, there will be a significant difference between the semifinals and the final show. Each one of the 5 semifinals will be pre-recorded 4 days before its broadcast, while the final show will be aired live. Silvester will make his first appearance in the first semifinal, where he will be one of the 2 qualifiers to the final show after the votes from the jury and the public. Then, during the final show, which took place in last mid-February, the first round of voting revealed that Silvester will be one of the 3 super finalists, being behind the singer Shower and before the guys from the Rook. Thereafter, in the super final, the 3 super finalists will perform their proposals again in qualification order, with the decision of the winner being made exclusively by the public, after reprising their performances. The second voting round revealed that Silvester received the most amount of points from the public, thus winning the competition and gaining the right to represent Lithuania on the main stage of Malmö. If you want to know what is the song about, then wait, I will tell you shortly. Now I'm going to analyze in further detail about this proposal with which he has competed at the contest. Being true to the musical style he has been doing, he is presenting us an electropop track, melodically speaking, in which Silvester performs with a light and pleasant voice, very adapted to the genre. It gives me curiosity, because despite the fact that the melody could sound simple and light, it is very catchy, and unlike that. About the lyrics, it has been written fully in Lithuanian by Silvester himself together with other 2 Lithuanian songwriters, which is pretty remarkable as it is the 3rd time in all their participations at the contest that the country sends an entry in their native language. I guess this will be influenced by the successful entry performed 2 years ago by Monica Liu in Turin, Italy. It was known as well that the song was specifically composed for Eurovision, also with the idea that the sound of the words in the lyrics would resemble all the words in other languages. according to Silvester himself, stating that he wanted to show a fun side of Lithuania with his entry, talking about the context behind it. Although Silvester has stated he links the meaning of the song to free interpretation. From his point of view, the song makes references to the feelings of existentialism and monotony, like we were stuck in a kind of matrix loop, saying with his own words, doing the same routine daily tasks every day, to the point of not telling if we are in a dream or in another dimension. With that in mind, he makes a call to break up that monotony, to wake up and dance despite not wanting to. Reading the lyrics in detail, previously translated of course. Those feelings are reflected both in the verses and the chorus, while the bridge emphasizes on the breakup of that monotony, as he said before, through the dance. Having the permission from Silvester to interpret the meaning of the song as you want. I can say that in my case I am pretty aligned with his point of view. Most of the time it's the daily routine and the monotony leaves us empty and with a feeling of a lack of purpose. From here, the idea of breaking them by doing different things. Going out, dancing, distracting yourself, any activity which makes us feel good. Although this could seem simple, this helps a lot to revitalize ourselves as people, then achieving a better balance and a better quality of life. Now that we have seen a little more about the song, it's time to analyze his performance in the national final, which serves as the official music video for his proposal. The performance begins with the stage in dark, while a blue stripe slowly appears in the left screen of the stage, switching later to a close-up of Silvester which appears in front of that blue stripe. In some moment, the stripe multiplied 3 times, with 2 dancers appearing next to him initially, and then other 2 more appear, while the 3 blue stripes join into a big one, until it expands to the whole left screen to cover it only in blue together with the lighting of the same color, while the dancers start to do a choreography around Silvester. Shortly after, the lighting becomes white while the visual graphics become red, which keep him stuck with the song sometimes, seeing to Silvester and the dancers more in detail, standing out their movements with the shoulders and the head to the rhythm of the song. Silvester wears a leather red outfit, which is remarkable with the use of a nose accessory, which curiously with the time has become a part of his artistic identity, while the dancers wear casual outfits which include white pants, long-sleeved red t-shirts, black t-shirts above the leather ones with large cuts in the front, and neck scarves which partially cover their faces. By the chorus, both the lighting in white and red tones, and the visual graphics showing gradient stripes in red, gives the electronic and disco touch to the performance, while the choreography from the dancers continue. In the second verse, the stage goes back to the blue tones once again, although in this case song imagery from Silvester is now seen, like in the singles cover who is also singing the song, while the danceable dynamic remains similar. Shortly after, the stage goes back to red again, now seeing imagery of Silvester dancing with the shoulders to the rhythm of the song, keeping the same party dynamic during the second chorus. With the bridge of the song, the stage gets dark, and later there are some hands appearing in a kaleidoscopic effect, judging by the patterns seen in the imagery, until the instrumental part where the stage literally becomes a club, combining the blue and red tones, both in the visual graphics and the lighting in an energetic and vibrant dynamic. Also evidenced with the relaxing and funny choreography done by Silvester together with the dancers. It is noticed that the last chorus will slightly change compared to the studio recording, while the energetic and vibrant dynamic goes back to the red and white tones, until the performance finishes with the stage being in dark, while many red spotlights are both on Silvester and the dancers. Like most of his fellow contestants from the audition, Silvester has also been presenting his proposal in many of the Eurovision pre-parties of the season, in this case without his dancers, and even he released a symphonic version of the track featuring an orchestra for the staging in Malmö. It was quite predictable that he would do the same one he previously presented in the national final without further changes, which was later confirmed by the broadcaster. This could be verified after seeing the first rehearsals, recurring to the same visual graphics, which look more sophisticated and improved compared to the national final, and the lighting keeping the same blue, red and white tones. Silvester will wear the same red outfit from the national final, while the dancers will have an improvement in their outfits, wearing apart the white pants, black hooded jackets in a futuristic style with curvy lines in white, getting to see only their foreheads and their eyelids. Watching his live performance in the first semi-final, it was confirmed that he has done it very identical like in the national final with added elements, using all the available leg strings on the stage, including the LED cubes, to feature the visual graphics to the max, which look quite improved as well. That eventually has added points in favor ahead of his performance. The bridge of the song is very remarkable in this case, by the use of shots from above, showing the dancers like interacting with the hands appearing on the LED screens of the stage floor, recurring to the same kaleidoscopic effect which looks pretty good, while the rest of the performance was just as energetic and vibrant, closing the performance in the same way with the red lighting about Silvester and the dancers. I had to say that I have seen it much more dynamic compared to the national final, by setting an electronic music party, and being honest, I did not have any doubts on Silvester qualifying to the grand final, and it was indeed thanks to the vote from the public who granted him the qualification. Then, during the grand final, he will be initially at the 17th place after the points received from the jury, although he could still have an important lead with the televoting results. And in fact, the public will appreciate it a little better by taking him to the 10th place, which will allow him to climb the ranking and by combining both scores, then finally settling into 14th place. Making a summary of all the comments, the Lithuanian entry for this year is about. I really like it very much. It is a proposal that has been presented very well polished and very well done without any doubt. And the proof is that literally he has set his own party every time he had the chance to be at any stage, making the people feel truly excited after watching him performing his proposal. And this really stands out because probably it is the first song in Lithuania that has made a breakthrough with the musical charts of many European countries, which will probably mean a wider promotion of the Lithuanian language to the rest of the continent. In the other hand, however, we do not have to forget that Silvester has been particularly affected for the fact that he was set to perform after Israel, whose performance was quite booed by the audience present in the arena, although this was not seen during the live transmission, with the booing being hit with pre-recorded applauses, which was heavily criticized towards the organizers of the contest. He did share the feelings the same night during the grand final with a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, describing his experience as traumatic by having to perform just after the Hebrew country as one of the worst situations he had to go through, and by having done the best he could do, so it did not affect his performance. Even so, he can feel absolutely proud, because despite all the tension he had to bear in the backstage, his performance was absolutely flawless. In my opinion, Silvester deserved to be much higher in the final ranking, but it was clear that the voting process was pretty influenced by the participation of Israel and by all the incidents happened during the contest week, which will be remembered as the most controversial edition in the history of the competition. Putting all that aside, the result was just as pretty good for Lithuania, having achieved exactly the same position like 2 years ago by Monica Liu, with a song also performed in Lithuanian. After his participation in the contest, Silvester has stated that currently he does not have plans on returning to the competition, at least in a short term, but that despite all that happened, he keeps all the good things from the experience and the new connections made. 3 months later, he will release his most recent single, which follows the same line of the song with which he has participated at the contest. Who knows if it will be a teaser of what it will be his debut studio album, which will open him the way for his breakthrough as an artist, not only in Lithuania but also in the rest of countries of the continent. And you, What do you think about the Lithuanian entry for this year? Come on and leave your comments down below to keep up the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. With this one, we've finished this series by having reviewed the 36 of the artists that have participated in the edition held in Malmo on last May. From here, there's going to be a break, although it will not last too long, as we will start a new series from the next episode very soon, so stay tuned. In the meanwhile, I invite you to like this video if it was of your taste so it can be reached to more people. Subscribe to my channel and enable notifications by the bell and follow me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.